once again. It's time, my friends, for another meet and greet. We're Southern Fried and nationwide, so hang on to your seat. Look around, here's what I found. I guess you'll never know what you'll see on the Southern Fried Podcast Show. Yeehaw.
Hey folks, Dave in the AM here with the Southern Fried Podcast and the Cornbread Nation. For many weeks now, me and Rob have been telling you about our affiliation with Dubby Energy Drinks. I've been drinking some of them on the show, and I just got in today the powdered version, and this is the Pond Blom version of this. And hey, I tell you that it gives you the focus and the energy without the jitters or the crash. There's no sugars, no fillers, no artificial dyes. So get you some Dubby today. Use the promo code Southern Fried, and you'll get 10% off each and every order. Not only can you get the energy drinks, but you can also get some cool merch items. In fact, soon we're going to have a hat to show you as an example of some of those things. There's shirts and other things you can get as well as containers to mix up the powder and the water into that you can carry with you. We appreciate your support of the Southern Fried Podcast and also of Dubby Energy Drinks. We'll see you again soon. Take care. Well, welcome to Not Talk Late Night. I just wanted to come on for a little bit. I'm pretty wired up tonight, and I thought I'd talk for a little bit before heading off to bed. See what night creatures roll out tonight during the live. And I used to roll around the podcast channels on different streams at late at night doing security and see who was up and who was talking. Kind of get me through a night. Anyway, we've had a good day. I to Southern Fried, and I'm blown away. We have had just Ray, which we are blessed all the time. I mean, we really are blessed all the time. But I'm extremely blessed today, and I want to say thank you. We'll get full credit out soon to one of our followers who wrote a song for the podcast, and it's just really. Quite amazing. I was just blown away. And we don't have it even downloaded or uploaded into the stream yet. But we will soon. And thank you so much, again, to the listener who did that. Simply amazing. Took most of our show titles and made them into a song. I wish I had that kind of talent. But I don't. But anyway, just a few little news items. Of course, our Cornbread Nation show was on tonight, Thursday. We did hey, Platinum wins. Hey, the Eagles, Sunday, are they going to win? We'll see. I'm doing pretty good, really. Our crew has been under some sort of, I don't know, attack. I mean, Cowboy Cook has been down for 3 weeks. He's had everything from the gout to the pneumonia to the flu. I've suffered from not too bad, but allergies that kind of had me up and down. Robert had allergies, and now he has fallen and cracked like 3 ribs. He did the shows tonight, but he just barely got through. He left the Wednesday night show, the Hump Day News. He left that. He couldn't make it. He went and had it to the doctor, and they checked him out. So he's on medication and stuff, and soaking and heating pads and all that stuff. But he had a seizure, and I tell you, these upper respiratories are bad. Really, really bad. Platinum Wins over on the Instagram side. They're truly rough, and I've known people that's taken weeks to get over stuff. I'm really over mine. At my age, you start having a few things go on, but it is rough. There's no doubt about it that it's rough. So y'all pray for our folks. So we're still trooping on. We sometimes one of us is down for a day or two, but we hang in there. So we enjoy what we do. And we try to go, and sometimes we just can't go, but it'll be okay. But as I said, we had a good show today. I really enjoyed the guy that come in the chat and said, "Why the puppets? They're for kids." I was like, I'm not going to forget that. You know what? We like the puppets. The puppets will be a part of what we do going forward, and I don't take it as a slam. It's just they didn't get it. But I'm a kid at heart, and I love puppets. So uh, we may never be great at it, but we will have puppets in our Cornbread Nation show. Yeah. So that's like cartoons. I mean, why not? I mean, hey, it's just having fun, and they take on their own, character, and it's just fun. And we're introducing more. I promise you, in about no more than 2 weeks. It'll hopefully be less than 2 weeks. We're going to introduce a new one, and Uncle Jeb's going to have a companion, and we'll do some fun stuff with it. And there'll probably be some animals along the way. Next year we're going to do our own groundhog thing. You know what? If by golly, if they can do that up there with that with Punxsutawney Phil and Staten Island Chuck and General Beauregard Lee down in Jackson, Georgia, by golly, we can do it at the Southern Fried. We won't have a real one though. We wouldn't have nowhere to keep it. We will have a puppet that's a groundhog. We will, and we're gonna have him a little box or something. We'll do it. One time it was really the greatest thing. I used to do a little Civil War between the states, and we don't like calling it Civil War because we wasn't really at a civil war with each other. We were just states' rights. But people. I digress. People get mad. But anyway, I used to do a little reenacting in that. It was and it was a blast, and I had a lot of friends that helped me along and everything. But we got this idea for a fundraiser, and it was the coolest thing. And I'll just shorten it down because it's kind of a long story, really. But I was doing reenacting, but I was also working with United Way with my company. They had several teams that doing fundraisers, and they were going to have a United Way night. Well, I got this idea that we would combine the two. We would bring we'd come up in the uniforms, and we'd have an old sutler, and the sutler we were going to have. We were just going to sell a couple of things, but I had this idea. I get ideas like this, and I said, why don't we find this lemonade, and that we like, that we test, and we did all kinds of testing. I mean, we tested all kind of blends and everything, but we got it where we liked it. It had a good lemonade. It was really good. We got a lot of compliments on it, and it wasn't nothing that we produced. We didn't squeeze lemons out. We had lemons in it, but I mean, we didn't come up with our own. But we took something, and anyway, I had this idea to call it Confederate after Confederate troops. Confederate. We're going to be in Confederate uniforms. We built this table, and for the sutlers table, like in an old store out in the West, the sutlers that would follow around the troops and everything. So I had this idea. I said, we pull this off. We need some old barrels. And so long story short, I contacted Jack Daniel's Distillery up in Lynchburg. And they usually don't do anything outside of their state, which is Tennessee. But they agreed to it. Before I got off the phone, they agreed to it. Let me touch on that in just a second, Platinum. I definitely would be, touch on that. And we'll put that up so I don't forget and others can see it. Anyway, I drove up to Lynchburg. They gave me I had to produce a letterhead for our group and everything. And anyway, we went and got them. We set up the sutlery. And I said, so we did that. And it was a great blast. We raised some money for the United Way and everything. Well, we were doing another fundraiser, and we did the same thing. But we also had this idea to do an old camera and build an old Tommy camera. Now, obviously, we couldn't build that. But what we did is we looked at old pictures of actual ones that they had, like Matthew Brady and others. And we built one fairly close, just the shell of it. And we had a digital inside, and we had electronics hidden behind the screen or the curtain. And anyway, we produced these old timey pictures. But it was a lot of fun. But the pretend part of that, the people really got into that. It took a lot of work, but it was a lot of fun. So, Snoop Dogg, being attacked. Well, you know what? There's a code, and I hate codes. I really do. There's all these unwritten rules that you're not supposed to be something because all of us are not something. And so and this is the thing that really gets me. When these so-called leaders and stuff, that they really attack someone like Snoop Dogg, whether you like him or not, it does not matter. When he decides to do something he wants to do on his own, He's his own guy, and he wants to do something, and it goes against the narrative, and he gets attacked for it. Where's the freedom in that? Where's the freedom we have in America? But you can't do that. You can't do that. Well, you know what? The heck with them. And I'm saying them in a sense of whoever had a problem with it. It's his life. Leave him alone. I mean, you know what? Just because you don't like someone doesn't mean I don't have to, not like them. I've always hated that anyway. I was, President Trump has been a unifier for a lot of people. Yeah, people use him as a dividing point, but they don't like what things, and they come against him. So they build coalitions of hate against him is what they do. And it's unfortunate that for all the civil rights and advancements, and for all the freedoms that everybody enjoys, the freedoms they should have had anyway, it's as though you're trying to lock somebody down and say you can't do that. You can't do that. That's baloney. You know what? I remember, in school, I learned it early on that there's always people wanting to get you on their side. And to me, it's just friends. But they would say something like, if you're friends with me, you can't be friends with this other person because they're not my friend. And I've told people this many times. I say, let me tell you something. I'm your friend. That's right. But I'll be friends with whoever else I want to be friends with. And if that's too much for you, then I question what kind of friendship we really have. I just hate that. He got out of the lane. He got out of the lane, and okay, I got you. I mean, he's a talented guy. He's funny. I don't think he gives three rips that they come against him. He doesn't strike me as the kind of guy that backs down from that. He's there was a guy that I talked to back in 16, 17, and the guy said he was an African American, and he said, I want to tell you something. He said, I voted for Donald Trump. This is 2016. And he said, here's the reasons why. He gave me all the reasons why. I mean, we agreed on so much stuff. And he said, however, I cannot tell anybody in my family. He said, because they'll turn on me. He said, I'm trying to convince them, that he's not bad and he'll be good for you. But he said they kind of suspect I voted for him, but I haven't told them. He said, because I feel like they're going to kick me to the side. And he said, I love them, but they're wrong. And that's what you deal with. So yeah, way to go, Snoop Dogg. You got your mind on your money and your money on your mind, and you want President Trump to help protect that. So I'm glad with it. It's just these. We just can't get past. We can't get past the past, which is unfortunate. You would think we were so far removed from the past, but people let the past dominate their life. They they live in biases and stuff that were 50, 60 years ago. They live in that and they refuse to break out of it. That's unfortunate. I remember Mary Blige, and if you're a fan of Snoop Dogg, I'm sure you probably familiar with her, probably a fan or not, I don't know. And she was going to do a KFC commercial once, and she got so much backlash she pulled out of it. They thought she was being a hypocrite. No, she just trying to make some money. And yes, I know of the racial past, but does that mean that that African American can never make a commercial about fried chicken or whatever? I mean, it's silly. We just can't move on. I just wonder what Martin Luther King Jr. would say to some of this. It's like, listen, this is what we fought for. This is freedom. And if you avoid doing things because of the so-called code and, well, they'll make fun of us or whatever, then are you really free? I mean, you have to free yourself from that. As you get older, you lose your filters. You just kind of like, a lot of times we're young, we worry so much about what people say, about how we talk, how we dress, how we do, and we're so worried that somebody's going to make fun of us or whatever. And as you get older, you just say, you know what, I don't care. Say what you're going to say. I really don't care. And I like it when people step out and go against the norm. I guess there's that rebellious spirit in all of us, and I don't mean it in a bad way. I mean, there is that. It's a sinful nature, but there is also that you just don't tell us that we shouldn't do something or can't do something, because to me that makes me a mindless robot. And there's always going to be somebody that does not like you for the decision or like decisions you made. They may like you, but they don't like the decisions you made. And when you're an entertainer, all spotlight is on you, and you have to stay within your lane, or they don't like it. Well, there's a lot of actors and a lot of entertainers that have stepped outside of that, and they've said, I'll do what I want to do, and you're not going to run my life for me. It's my life. I think it was Bon Jovi that had that song, "It's My Life," and it is my life. And I get one shot through this thing called life. And I'm not going to spend time, and I know I didn't go through what they did those minutes long ago, but I'm just going to do my thing. And you just can't please people. You really can't please people. They really want to, they want to criticize you. They want to drag you down and keep you in a box and say you can't do it. And I just refuse that. I may disagree with somebody's stance on something, but it's their right. I get asked all the time. They'll say, "What do you think about this person? What they're doing?" I'm like, "Well, I'm not their judge. I am not their judge." You can. I have had people ask me before. They say, "You don't like me because of this," and I'm like, "I don't even know you." I remember one night this lady, she thought I didn't like her. It was at a radio station. We did ministry. She come out and she said, "You don't like me, do you?" I'll never forget it. And I said, "Ma'am, I don't even know you." And she said, "You don't like our program of Soma 4, do you?" I said, I said, "I don't really hardly listen. I sit out here and get ready for my own program." But I said, "You do your thing." And she said, "Well, you don't like it because I'm this or I'm not that or whatever." And I said, "Listen," that's what I told her. "I'm not your judge. I- I'm not your judge." So I respect her. Respect them wins. That's absolutely true. That the ignorance and the things that people don't really know about, they find out uh, so much if I just sit down and talk to people. And what we find out is in most cases, we have more in common than we have apart, and that we disagree on. We have more together, more things that we agree on than we disagree on. And I definitely, um, I definitely just don't. I just don't let people rule my life like that. I really don't. Um, there's a line in the old MASH show, the TV show about the Korean War, and Colonel Potter. I forget who was saying it to, but he said a line there that I've always liked. He said, "I think before we go to war, that the soldiers are to have to sit down and get to know each other, because they might not be so trigger happy, you know." And it's true, if your enemy. I remember the Christmas truce, World War I, right? The Christmas truce. They came out, they played soccer, they exchanged pictures, they tobacco, all that stuff. And their leaders were mad about it on both sides and really scolded them. And the next day they went back to war, but it was Christmas time, and the soldiers took it upon themselves to take a day off from the war. And they sang songs. They had a festive time. The next day they were killing each other because they were ordered to. I'm telling you, a lot of those men probably did not want to. They didn't want. I mean, nobody really wants to be in war, but I'm saying there was probably a little bit of the drive to win that next day was probably over for a lot of them because they had gotten to know their enemy, and they thought they're not much different than me. We may speak a different language, we may be from a different country, but we're really not that different. And what are we doing out here on a cold, Christmas time day, just blowing each other to bits? And those are questions that have to be asked. Well, yeah, when you don't know about something, you talk in ignorance. And I try never to close my mind. I really don't. I mean, there's the absolutes in my life. There is absolutely those absolutes in my life, from a faith standpoint and from a family standpoint. I mean, there's things you stand on. There's things you're never going to waver on, and nor should you. Your defense of your home. I believe you have a right to defend your home. that castle doctrine. I'll stand on that. I mean, if you can't defend your home, I mean, what good is it to have it? If somebody could just come in and kill you and kill your family and all that, I mean, why have a home? I mean, it's dumb that people would go against that. Um, yeah, we did get snow. We got quite a bit. Rob got more than we did, but we did get some snow. We sure did, Platinum. We got some snow. First time in a while. I mean, we sometimes we'll get a little dusting up here, but we usually don't see that kind of snow total. I think it was like 6.5 inches where we were at. Different areas might have had a little more, but yeah, we did get some snow. Uh, so yeah, also I've been updating a little bit. Today was day 2 official of testimony in the Evelyn Boswell case, the little girl who was killed, and the mom was on trial. It's 5 years later, 5 years for the murder. Now they're trying to blame it on a boyfriend. She's trying to say now she accidentally. I think is what I'm hearing. That testimony or what they're reviewing is, I guess, her confessions or something. I don't know, where she said she rolled over on the baby. I haven't looked at all the trial testimony, but basically trying to say that the boyfriend, they were in the same bed and she rolled over on her or something like that, and that she couldn't deal with it, and he got rid of the body and put it in a container. Now nobody believes her story, but that trial is going on. Evelyn Boswell was the little girl. So in Sullivan County, Tennessee, that's a big case in this area. So uh, yeah, that's very unusual for the South to get that kind of snow. Usually, storm systems that come out of Texas usually get us pretty good. If they're coming east from Nashville, we usually don't, we don't get them. They go around us. So it was a lot of snow. Uh, I loved it while it was here. For a little bit of time, it was here, and I'm glad it was gone. God bless you up north. You just have to deal with it. But I don't think anybody likes it. But yeah. Tonight we recorded a new interview with a ministry that will be a blessing. Without telling you about it, not that it's super secret or anything, but uh, we will play the interview on Valentine's Day. I will say that in the interview you need to listen till near the very end. There's some blessings there, but I will put up the card for the ministry. I think I still have that in here. Yes, for Love Endures Ministries. There it is. Love Endures Ministries. We're going to be putting this card up a lot. We don't just counsel, we do live. They're wonderful people. I got to know them more tonight. Rob's already known them, and they they will. We have an interview in the box, as we say, with them, and that will air on Valentine's Day, February 14th. And there will be some blessings in there towards the end. If you'll listen to the very end, we're not trying to be coy, but we wanted to be a blessing. But I said, let's drop it in the end, and because we want people to hear these people. And so, if you can, you'll be blessed by it. It's a good interview. It's only about 42 minutes or something like that, 41 minutes, something like that. It's a good interview. Yeah, I love snow too. I just don't want it around all the time. Also, Robert Diamond has been on the show. He's going to be hiking the Appalachian Trail. There's Robert, and he's carrying these name tags on the trail. These are all names of veterans or first responders who have died by suicide, and he's trying to get help to these veteran organizations. The QR code is for a fundraiser, not to put money in his pocket. It's to give to the fund to those veteran organizations. And so the thing on the left, it's from his Facebook. It just tells a little bit about his story and what he's doing. That's really what you do is when you do the QR code that pulls up. And what he's trying to do is raise a penny a mile. It's 2,200 miles, $22. And I donated last night to that. So he's trying to raise, several thousand. I think 22,000 for the 22 a day, and we're not even at 1,000 yet. So, but he has a few hundred that's been raised. We're going to start advertising for that more. So bear with us. We're not trying to turn into commercials all day long, but we do like to air commercials for our friends. We do not make money off of these. We haven't made money off any commercial that we do. We just do it. We are affiliates, and one day maybe they'll hit, maybe they won't. But we believers in what we put out there. So We try to blend those in and mix those in, not just leave you on a 20-minute commercial break. We wouldn't do that, but we try to pop them in really quick, and it also gives us a chance to take a little bit of a break. And as well, Mammoth Nation. And I do like this tool. I like this Mammoth grip here. I like that. It's very reasonable, and you can, if you join the Mammoth Nation, use that QR code. It helps us, helps you. You get discounts. You'll make all that money back in discounts. I'm not lying. I'm a satisfied customer of these several of these organizations, and I am a lifetime member of Mammoth Nation. And you go through the Mammoth Nation portal, you get extra discounts, and sometimes when you get to if you're the first time customer, you're going to get even more discounts. There's a promo code there, but sometimes you can get a little bit more too if you sign up for an email or something. So you can end up getting, depends on the site. There's different ones. It could be 10%, 20%, 30%, just different ones. So anyway, Mammoth Nation. Maybe you could commercials for Hooters. I'm up for that. Well, you never know. You never know. I haven't been to one of those in a long, long time. I mean, we used to go to one in Atlanta. There was not one in the area that I live, and we used to go down there, and we're big sports fans and stuff, and I like their food. I know why people go there, but that honestly was not the driver. I was married. My wife went with me, but we'd go in there and eat and have a good time. But I did take a friend. Now he I don't know if he ever cared for the food, but he loved the scenery. So, do you have a Hooters near you? Platinum Wins. I don't know. But yeah, we used to go to Atlanta and go to a lot. This is years ago, but a lot of restaurants would be in Atlanta before they came to our town. Steak and Shake was one. Hooters was another one. There's 2 or 3 more. I don't remember them all. Some of them never came here. They were more localized, local restaurants, not really chain or franchises. And there used to be a nice sports restaurant up off of, what is the name of that road? Not, I know it and I can't think of it. I used to go hit 285, and then I would hit Sandy Springs exit. I used the Sandy Springs exit, I believe, and you go north back across the interstate, and there was a sports club up there. We used to go in there and watch sports and eat and stuff. It was fun. There's also a lot of restaurants on Buckhead Road, that Buckhead Highway, Buford Highway, excuse me. What am I going Buckhead? Because we used to be on Buckhead a lot too, but Buford Highway, and there used to be a Chicago Sports and Pizzeria place over there. We go in there and watch pro football games and eat, and they had all the games on. I've been there when college basketball playoffs were going on, and it was a lot of fun. A lot of fun. I have one in my area. I enjoyed their bikini shows. Oh yeah. I didn't know they had bikini shows. So tells you how out of the game I am. So there is one in the town that I live. One. So, and it stays busy. And I think they're open later on the weekends than some places too, because they'd be pulling out. They're kind of late. So you can get like a late night tonight with me. I mean, that's kind of the way it is there. You can get a late night on the weekend, and they stay packed out. But I used to get around to a lot of places. I used to love to go to this, sports things. There was another one in not Lenox Mall. There was another one in, downtown at the CNN Center. There was a sports club there, and I know the name of it. I can't think of it. It's very well known. Jocks and Jills. And used to love to go in there too. So yeah, we used to get, me and Cowboy Cook. We used to just go explore a lot. We'd just get in a van or car, and me and him and my wife, and we didn't take the kids because they were little, but we'd go down there and just explore. Then later I took them to ball games and stuff. But Underground Atlanta, I wouldn't go there for nothing now. But Lenox Mall, all them places around Atlanta. If you've ever been to Atlanta. My best friend's mom, when he was still living, she lived in East Point, and we used to run around the East Point area a lot. Hateville over there, the Ford plant used to be years and years and years ago. And I mean, there's so many different places. that we would win. We just go explore, and just have fun. There's never a shortage of something to go look at in Atlanta. So lots of fun, lots of fun. Well, I hope you've had a good day too. I mean, we've had great weather here. It's been very mild. In fact, some would say hot. And we feel hot because it's been so cold, and we've got these nice warm temperatures. Although there are some rain coming in, and I think tonight we might have some storms coming in our area with high winds. I thought that was last night, but all I saw was rain. But I may have been a day off in my understanding about that. But I did see that there's supposed to be some heavy rain and high winds, at least uh, in in uh, I thought it was. I think it is tonight. They do show thunderstorms potential tonight. It is going to cool a little bit. It's going to bring a cold front through, but it's nothing serious. Humidity level is 86% right now. No wonder I've been burning up. But let's see. So it's going to be 60 for a high tomorrow, 51. But then it warms right back up to 76. 76. So we're 50s, 60s, and 70s with a lot of rain in the forecast for the next several days. So I don't know. One good sports bar restaurant is PJ Whelan's. There are a lot that open in my area. Okay, PJ Whelan's. Okay, never been there. I used to love to go to the sports bar, and I'm not saying for the bar part, but uh, because of all the big screen TVs and stuff, and you would have the little clusters of Bears fans, Packers fans, San Francisco 49er fans, and they would be at all these tables, and when there'd be all this jawing that would go on back and forth in good nature. I never saw nobody get mad or in a fight or anything. But we used to love to do that. It was so fun. It was just like free entertainment. Not free because you had to buy something to eat, but it was just something to go see. We'd just sit and listen. Every now and then we'd get into we'd holler and say hey something, but they had I want to think they had over 100 TVs in there. Over 100 TVs. That's incredible. I used to love that. There used to be one in Chattanooga area. It was actually most of the time it was a like a boot scoot and boogie country place. I can't even think of the name of that. It'll hit me in a minute. And they had a huge screen, and we'd go over on Monday night and watch Monday Night Football. And they were always begging for customers on Monday night because it was a slow night. So we got all these deals. They were doing food deals and beverage deals, and we go over and watch Monday Night Football on the big screen. It was a blast. I really, really enjoyed it. I'd like to know who got that TV out there because that thing was massive. Um, Tennessee does country really well. Yes, they do. They do. I was listening to our friends tonight in their interview, and they was talking about how they lived up in New York and they moved south. They didn't want their son to grow up in basically the concrete jungle, and they wanted their son to have a backyard and have windows. The husband, he grew up in a place where it was all concrete walls. They didn't have nowhere to play, and so they moved to Virginia, and then later went on south to Moultrie, Georgia. But I can respect that they wanted to get out of the concrete jungle and do something a little different with their time and how they live. I don't want to be out in the boonies, I would say, but I want to be, it's gotten really busy where I live, but I'd like to be out just a little bit more. The all that across the state line has just poured into our city, and now you can't move out here sometimes, but it's still better than there to me. But I would like to be it'll be a little bit slower pace where I live, but that's not going to happen here. The genie is out of the bottle, and it is very busy. The traffic is out of control. So yeah, we'll see. Don't forget, folks, in the morning we do have our SFP morning show, 6 a.m. So I won't be here too long. And then tomorrow night, Front Porch Talking, weekend shows. And we're going to have a sports show coming up, but we will have definitely Southern Talk, Southern Fried MAGA, Sunday Morning the Word, and News Desk on Sunday night. The first episode of Southern Fried Racing will be airing soon. Daytona 500 is a week from Sunday. Of course, it's Super Bowl Sunday. The Kansas City Chiefs and the Philadelphia Eagles kick it off, and it's a tight game. There's reasons for me to like both teams, but it's really hard for me. I'd like to see Kansas City three-peat. That's a rarity, but I'd like to see Philly win for my ex-Georgia players to get a ring that play on their defense. But a week from that Sunday is the Daytona 500, the legendary Daytona 500. Can't wait to dive into that and talk about drivers and the race and the lineup and everything. I love that. Fly, Eagles, fly. Yes. So yes, I do love the Eagles. I've always liked the Eagles. I mean, I go back. I'm not a Johnny come lately, so to speak. I mean, I go back to the days of Randall Cunningham, and what's the fella that died? Jerome Brown, was that the one? He had a killer defensive line back then. Reggie White. He was with the Eagles then at that time before he went Green Bay. Oh my goodness, I used to remember all them players. Then Donovan McNabb was quarterback, um, and there's so many players over the years. But I've always watched them. Always watched the Eagles. Um, and they've had ups and downs, but they do have a real chance to win this thing. I think they could. I'm not saying they could win this thing, and it's going to come down to two things. It always does, but this game is going to come down to penalties and turnovers because these teams can score, and it's going to be tight. The scoring is going to be tight, so it's going to be don't miss your field goals when there's a field goal. Don't get hold on to the ball. No interceptions, no fumbles, and play. Play the run games are going to be important. Both teams have a great running game, and I don't think they need to be in a track meet either one of them. It's going to be a grind kind of game with a lot of defense. So don't make mistakes. Don't turn the ball over. Hit your field goals and score a couple, 3 touchdowns. You'll be all right. But the Eagles have got, I think, the X factor with their running back. Even though the Kansas City has some really good running backs, I respect them. There's there's nobody matches up to what Philly has. He's a man. That kid is an ace player, man. He's a deal breaker, man. He busted long. I mean, he'll have a 70-yard touchdown run, but he does the dirty work too. He blocks, he grinds it out. Love his energy, and if I think the X factor for the Eagles is Hurts. Does he play like he can and let the game come to him and use all of his tools, or does he hold on the ball too long, get sacked on interception? For Kansas City, can the short passing game and control football? The Eagles are really good up front. Can they continue that? So they're going to have to. They might have to air it out just a little more. I think they're going to have a hard time running the Eagles. I really do. So I think Mahomes is going to have to air it up a little bit more. And Travis Kelce is probably going to have a really good game, But Kansas City's defense is really good. I like Kansas City's defense. They're good defense. Both teams these teams are very equal in a lot of ways. I mean, a lot of ways. They're amazing. They're built for the long run too. They're not going anywhere. These teams are going to be in the hunt year in year out for a few years. There's no two ways about that. But it would be great to see. Those Georgia boys get a ring and stuff, And I know people people don't like Mahomes, they don't like Kansas City. Lots of people say they respect Andy Reid, and he's the X factor for Kansas City. No, he may not play, but this guy is a call genius. This guy knows how to bust opposing defenses. He is a master at coming up with special plays in a game that just blow a defense's mind. It really is. Everyone in Pennsylvania is excited for the Eagles. I definitely think we'll win because, like you said, a three-peat is rare, and the Chiefs already won the Super Bowl twice. Yeah, and I don't think they're as strong as they were. Now, Mahomes is the magician. And, yes, he gets calls he probably shouldn't get sometimes. They do protect him really tight. But I think that what I see here is Kansas City. They've overcame it almost completely through the season, but not quite. But sometimes their offense staggers. It's a 3 and out, 3 and out, 3 and out, and then they'll bust one. Well, I don't think you can have a bunch of 3 and outs against the Eagles because I think they're going to be able to move the ball in Kansas City. It won't be a track meet, but Eagles will I think have enough offense to win this thing. It's just that Mahomes and Randy Reid X factor that stops you. Travis Kelce actually is he does the dirty work. He's not playing to the level that he used to. He's got a little older. And around the goal line, though, he's one of the best. So if they get in that position, I give stock up to Kelsey, but down the field, he's not quite getting the separation sometimes that he used to. He has to work more on his moves now. Good route running, misdirections, uses the size of his body. He's not outrunning people like he used to. I mean, he's a little step off, just a little bit. So Platinum Win says, I do like Andy Reid. I always want to have a burger with him. Yeah, having a burger with the great Andy Reid. How cool would that be? I love it. He is a genius. I think he's a good guy. And, if they did win, it would be cool for him. It would be really cool. I don't think, it's a hard game to pick. It's a hard game to pick. I think the spread was only 1.5 a few days ago, and I haven't checked to see if it's changed. But if it has not changed much. So we'll see. Should be a great game. What is that, about a 6:30 kickoff? 6:15, 6:30? The only thing I hate is it's so drawn out. It'll go late. The commercials, the halftime, because they want to make all that money, they double it or whatever they do. They take extra commercial breaks during the game. Anytime somebody's, rubbing their shin, timeout, official timeout, we're taking a break. I mean, it is so commercialized, but I get it. But I do like Andy Reid. I do. And I like Mahomes. I don't like his attitude sometimes. But he seems like okay, man. He plays really, really big. Andy also looks like Dr. Eggman from the Sonic the Hedgehog video games. Somebody told me on the podcast one night that I look like Andy Reid. Well, you look like an Andy Reid. Well, maybe I do. Maybe I do. That just means I have a fat face, and my hair is receding, and it is. So we have that in common. But hey, give a brother a break. I'll be 60 years old this year, and I feel great, I love what I'm doing. May 6th, I'll be 60 years old, and I can't believe that. It blows my mind. I've got several grandchildren, my oldest is, she'll be 17 this year, all the way down to about 2. But yeah, I'll be 60. And it's okay, though. I'm busier than ever, but it's a good kind of busy. It's a good kind of busy. We're excited for the future of the Southern Fried. I am so blown away. Yeah, I wish I had it downloaded. And to this young man who wrote this song for us and gave it to us to use, I'm going to make sure we give him something. I want to make sure I have the name right. If you'll bear with me just a second, I don't like doing it live on the air, but I wanted to look up his name is Jake Hudson. God bless you, Jake Hudson. An absolute phenomenal song. I said, we got off the Cornbread Nation right near the end. He said, hey, I wrote you a song. I sent it to you in email. And I said, okay, man, I'll check it out. I went back up and I sat down on the couch visiting family before they all left and everything. And I pulled that out and I started playing it. And I just was blown away. Like, dude, he said, I love what you do. Keep it up. You can have the song. If you want me to redo it some, I'll do that. I'm like, dude, it's perfect the way it is. Thank you so much. I don't even know what to say to it. It's just the kindness of people that help us get along. And we have been so blessed to have listeners like and watchers like you, Platinum Wins, and so many others who make this fun. That's why we do it, When I look up, and sometimes I can't see all the Rumble numbers, but sometimes there may not even be anybody in here. I'm still going to do my thing, just however it is. And, usually we'll have, even a late show, we'll have a bunch come in. But if it's 1, 2, 5, whatever, it don't matter to me. And people watch the videos afterwards, and I'm just amazed by all that. I really am. I'm a podcast watcher too. And I don't get a chance to watch them as much as I used to because I'm doing podcasts. But I do enjoy it. We enjoy what we do, and we have fun with it. And I'm so glad that to meet all of you, because it wouldn't be possible if we had not done this. And, just looking forward to the new streams that are coming online. We're probably going to have a new stream out there. So that'll give us 8 total. We do go out on 8 different streams. One of them is the same platform. We have 2 channels. We're not going to waste the 8th and let it sit there. So we send it out, but we will have 8 individual, and I'm probably going to do that here in a few days. We've already got the account set up with them. We just got to pay for it so we can load our bigger content and we can go live. And that'll give us 8 8 that we go to every time we do a live. That's amazing to me. And so we did a test. Thank you for that. You know what? We like to have fun. I told Rob early on, I said, hey, we got to have some fun. We're going to be talking about serious stuff. We're going to be talking about funny stuff too, and we have to have fun. And we do have fun. It's genuine. It's not made up. And we get tickled and laugh. And we've made great friends on here. My friend Steve at Half Pine Forge, Robert's giving me. I got to get it hung up, but I saw him make one of these on his blacksmith show, and I've always wanted one, and so he made me one, and of course I paid for it. I bought it, and I'm gonna hang this up. But I'm a satisfied customer. Um, he's a neat dude, and we're gonna get that hung up. I've got to get the studio just a little bit more set up. As I look around, we've got a couple things to do to the wall over this way, and I've got a new desk that's sitting right beside. I'm just on a table right now. I have a brand new desk that's just sitting there. Oh, it's so sad. It's all together. We got to put the LED lights on it, but it's really ready. But we got a couple things to do behind it before we do that, and I want to have that done. Hopefully by this this weekend, we'll be sitting at our new desk and just some things we want to enhance and make better. We're gonna get more room in the studio here so we can do our puppets more. Set up a stage for them and have a lounge area and stuff. It's not a huge studio, but it's big enough, and there's more room in here than people think. And we have guests can come by, and they do. But it's my family or others, and my co-host is going to come by for the Southern Fried Racing. And we're just going to keep going and have fun. And we appreciate you taking time out of your day, morning, whatever it is, evening, middle of the night. And listen, you don't have to do that, but I appreciate you doing it. I appreciate you saying the kind of things you do. We live in a crazy world with a lot of crazy stuff going on, and you gotta find things that you're passionate about, that you love, that you can laugh at, that you can even you ask cry sometimes. I mean, there are things that we're very moved about. People, life is tough. I got a boss. He was many years in the military, and he would have this saying. He would say to new people, he would say, "Hey, life is tough. Don't make it harder." And because it'll jump on you in a heartbeat. And having y'all here is therapy. I mean, it's like, my family is so used to me. Like, if I'm not recording in the evenings, they're like, "Are you okay? Are you recording tonight?" And I said, "I took a night off." Okay, I just used to seeing you record. And they're very supportive and they help. And my wife will hear me say something I need for the studio, if it's coffee or whatever, and she'll get the, "Yeah, I'm getting off here in a minute. Hank's popping in. I got to go too. I'm going to be on the air in just a little over 6 hours," which means I get up in about a little over 5 hours. So let's go stay on a few more minutes. Hey, good night. Have a great night. God bless. And we'll talk to you soon. Have a great Friday. Have a great Friday and a great weekend. Thank you, Platinum Winds. You're awesome. And we'll see you soon. To you others here, like I said, I just want to pop on for a few minutes. And I am tired. I was sort of wired out. This is the way I kind of unwind. I have to unwind. I just can't go to sleep. I had family in talking, and I got to unwind. I thought, why don't I just unwind while I'm talking on the podcast? Plus, we've got to figure out how to do that with me and Rob because of the way StreamYard is. We're on Podbean, but we don't. I only can load them up afterwards. We don't go live there unless I'm just doing the show by myself. So it gives us some live time on Podbean. It's a great platform, and we're just trying to build our time on there. Lives are tracked, the hours, and it means a lot. So it moves us up at different rankings, or eventually will, as podcaster on Podbean, and that's a platform that we really like. And it does some great things for us. So this gives us some time on there live, and we'll continue to do that. So we're on about, I don't even remember now. I think it's somewhere close to 10 different audio sites. Some of them nobody even listen to our stuff, but eventually they will. Pray for this Evelyn Boswell case. It's truly amazing. I'm gonna try to catch up with tomorrow, update tomorrow night, or over the weekend for sure, as they finish the first week of testimony, and get back involved with this case. Hear what the latest is. They're seeing videos now that we've not seen before, because the police had them under seal. Her interviews with police and stuff, and I'm gonna catch back up with this trial, and hopefully I can see all that. But yeah, pray for that trial. Pray for the president. We got to get the confirmations in. There's so many. I mean, they should already be confirmed. This delaying tactic's ticking me off. And we got to get these people on their job and get them going. We got things in the world to take care of. We don't need. It's time to be over with these confirmation hearings. Come on, and let's get these folks in the job that they're supposed to do, so we can move on and make America great. Absolutely. So yeah, and you know, we'll keep covering those stories. We got to get we got to get the situation in Israel straightened out. We got to get Russia, Ukraine. That needs to end. It needs to be over. They need to stop. And strengthen America. America first, baby. And let's get our prices down. Let's get our defense up. Let's take care of the home crowd first. And if somebody wants our help, we're going to put some disclaimers on it that we're going to stand behind. So let them just walk all over us. It's a new day. It's a new day, and I'm excited to be a part of it. So yeah, but yeah, I'm gonna get off here because it is the time I get up and getting home. It's going to be midnight, and it'll be a new day. It will be February the 7th, and some places around the world it already is. But February 7th, 1 week till Valentine's Day. Hopefully, don't forget, man. Don't forget now. We're all bad about it sometimes. Go get something for you. My granddaughter asked me that lives with me. She said, "Are you getting me a Valentine's present this year again?" I said, "Well, sure I am." She said, "Oh, you're so sweet." So I need to get that taken care of this weekend. I'm not going to wait till the last minute. There's a comedian one time, he used to crack me up. I don't remember his name, but I remember this one skit that he did. He was talking about being the guy in his neighborhood that would drive the neighbors crazy. And it would be like, I go get my wife some flowers, just in the middle. It's a Wednesday. There's no holiday, just a Wednesday. And he said, driving down the road, all the other husbands would be flipping him off and saying, "Way to go, bub. Now you got your wife something when there wasn't even a time to do it. Now she's on me about it. She's heard about it. So, I got to run down here and shop. Thanks a lot, man." Dare to be different is the saying. Dare to be different. Do things different. It just sits better. Do it when it's not expected. Do it when it's not expected. Surprise them. I do that with a lot of people. I'll do things. I'll say, "What are you doing?" Just hang on and enjoy. We're doing something different today. And people get excited with that. We all like to be surprised. Some surprises take a little more setting up than other surprises, though. So sometimes you have to let them in on it because you don't want to spoil it and waste money. But just the very fact that you're planning that means a lot. Like, "Oh, we're going to go here. We're going to do that." Men, you get a lot of mileage out of stuff like that, as you well know. Be a surprise agent. Write notes, leave notes. Do special things. Do the unexpected. Be that guy. Do the unexpected. They know you're going to do the expected. They're okay with it. They still like it. But every once in a while, do the unexpected. Be that person that every other guy in your neighborhood is going, "What's up? What are you doing? You're messing it up for all of us." No, it's good. Take care of your wife and girlfriend, whatever, and your mom or whoever's that lady in your life. Take care of her. You know what? God's blessed us with our dear ladies. And my wife fell tonight. Bumped her head on a car. Granddaughter and son helped her up. She's gonna be sore tomorrow. You don't fall at our age and not be hurting tomorrow. It's probably hurting now. She's okay. But I hate that happen. I really, really hate that happen. Probably tripped over something. I don't even know. When we get older, we have a tendency to shuffle our feet instead of stepping. And I think sometimes she does that, kind of shuffles her feet instead of really lifting her leg. And we just get lazy with it because we hurt. It's hard to walk. And we just kind of we just get lazy with it. And we'll hit stuff. We'll hit the edge of a sidewalk. We'll hit a piece of pavement that's a little bit higher up. We'll step in a chuck hole, whatever it is. And, the falling is not good. But she's okay. But pray for her. Well, I'm going to get off here. Got to work in the morning. Got a podcast to do in the morning. And see Rob. Pray for him. He's not doing good either. My goodness. Like I say, we're falling apart. We need some prayers. We need some help. We must be doing something right. It's not like the devil's fighting us. or something. Maybe somebody's got a doll out there and they're stabbing it. Ah, you will die. I will stop you. I don't know, but people are watching the Fraud Podcast. We got so many things we want to get done. This weekend, we're going to release an address. No, you don't have to do that, but we're gonna get our address to our store, our link out there for our new store, and we're very soon to have some other things pop too. So time and money, as they say, time and money. God bless you all tonight, and God bless the president and all the things he's trying to do. Let's pray for him. Pray for safety for him and his family. Um, one last thing, though, I saw this video. I don't know what he said when Barron Trump leaned into Biden and then he talked to his mama. It's as good an explanation as I've heard. This lady, so I think he got it figured out. So he leans into Biden and he goes, "It's on." And then he looks back at him as he walks away, and then his mom, or maybe it was, I know he talked to his mom, and his mom seems to say, like she's on the Wi-Fi. "I'm back. Sorry, a little blip there. I don't have." But his mom telling him to be nice, and he looked. But he gave him that mafia look. There was no doubt. There was the messaging they were sending during that inauguration was absolutely crystal clear. Didn't have to say a word. You could see it. And he was one of the main ones. Barron's like, "You know what? You tried to take my dad out." But he's like Michael Corleone. "I'm with you. I'm with you, Pops. I'm with you now." You know, Michael was always the one out. He was the war hero. He was the guy who didn't want nothing to do with the family business. And Barron, you know, under the tutelage of his mom, he seemed like, you know, that he was kept away from a lot of stuff. Loved his dad, but he's kept away. But now he's older, taller. Now it's on. It's like, you know, he's got that. He's got not only that, you know, that Trump blood. He's got Melania's blood, and you know, her background too. So he's got some fight in him. I guarantee you. But he's a smart fighter, and he's one of those like Trump. He can give you a look, and the look says it all. He's like that. Eric and Don Jr., they don't really have that. I like them, but they don't have that. They, you know, they're very good at what they do. But Barron is completely different. That's a different animal. I mean, that kid looks, I say kid, he's a man now, but he looks at you and it's like, yeah. I don't know what he said, but if he said that it's on, it's on. God bless you. I love it. It's on. You know what? You try to kill you and your whole party, you try to take out my dad. It's on. I don't know. That's what he said. It's like, Joe's enough is enough. And it is enough. And it's enough tonight. All right. It's almost the top of the hour. God bless. We'll see you in the morning. We'll get the outro. We're going to get that song loaded up. I promise you, it is incredible. I cannot believe we're so blessed. I mean, thank you, Lord, for all the blessings in my life. All right. Take care. God bless. If you are careful, don't know. It's, you know, it's almost like we're already in the summertime storms, you know, the rain and the lightning and the storms. It's almost like we're already there. So batten down the hatches, hang on. Southern Fried Podcast. Going into port, we'll be setting sail again at 6 a.m. in the morning. See you there. God bless. Salute.